The summer months and beyond are a great time to get outdoors, to soak up some vitamin D, be active with family and friends, or relax by the pool. Having fun in the sun is possible without raising your risk of developing skin cancer. You can accomplish this by protecting your skin and lathering on some sunscreen. Melanoma, a type of skin cancer, can be prevented by using sunscreen in addition to other skin safety practices. Because Nebraska is an agricultural state, many individuals spend time outside and are exposed to the sun as an everyday job. According to the National Institute of Health, about 29 Nebraskans are diagnosed with melanoma per every 100,000 people. This year is higher than the national average, which is about 23 people per 100,000. Two Rivers Public Health Department wants you to use sunscreen to prevent cancer, but where did sunscreen come from in the first place? The history of sunscreen dates to ancient times, so when we talk about sunscreen being something of modern interest and usage, we're wrong. In ancient Egypt, people used rice and jasmine extracts to protect their skin from the sun. The Greeks used olive oil to protect their skin and aftercare from sun exposure. Around 1798, Robert Willen, known as the father of modern dermatology, discovers and describes a skin condition called eczema solaire, which we can refer to as skin sensitivity to light. From here, the determination of oils or items to protect the skin versus giving the skin more pigmentation began. About 100 years later, in 1891, the first recommendation to use chemical sunscreens to prevent UV radiation was given. They had determined that continued exposure to the sun was resulting in irritation and sensitivity. We would closely relate this to what we now call a sunburn. As they continued to explore skin exposure to UV rays, the introduction of skin cancer was made. Most skin cancers are caused by too much exposure to UV light. UV rays damage skin cells and can come from sun lamps, tanning beds, and the sun itself. It wasn't until 1962, about 60 years ago, that the Sun Protective Factor, or SPF, rating scale of sunscreen was invented. This rating scale became the standard for testing sunscreen formulations. For instance, if you properly use sunscreen with an SPF rating of 30, it would take you 30 times longer to burn than if you used no sunscreen at all. Little did the Greeks know that olive oil has an SPF rating of only 8. The CDC says that if you're older than 6 months of age, you should use sunscreen with an SPF rating of 15 or higher before being exposed to the sun. The higher the number, the higher amount of protection the sunscreen will provide. This indicates that sunscreen is helping prevent the sun's harmful UV rays from reaching your skin. No matter what SPF you're using, it is best practice to reapply every 2 hours. When deciding which type of sunscreen to use, you want to find the one that says it's broad spectrum. This tells you that it will protect you from both UVA and UVB harmful rays that come from the sun. It's a good reminder that even if you tan easily, your skin can still be damaged by sun exposure over your lifetime, so you should always wear a layer of protection. You can think of sunscreen as a thin bulletproof vest that sits on the surface of your skin, stopping UV rays before they can reach the skin and damage it. The active ingredients in sunscreen absorb and scatter the rays, deflecting them so they don't cause harm. By remembering the 5 W's and H of sunscreen, it can help keep you and others protected when out in the sun. Who? Everyone under the sun. What? Broad spectrum SPF 15 or higher. When? Every day, 30 minutes prior to going outside. Reapply every 2 hours. Where? All exposed skin. Why? Reduce your risk of skin cancer and skin damage. How? 1 ounce applied to the entire body for each application. Two Rivers Public Health Department district and the whole state of Nebraska are seeing an increase in melanoma of the skin. Back to the data from the National Institute of Health between 2015 and 2019, Buffalo and Phelps counties were noted as having some of the highest rates of skin cancer in the state. Buffalo County noted about 39 cases of melanoma per 100,000, and Phelps County identified about 37 cases of melanoma per 100,000. Sunscreens are important in helping reduce the burden of skin cancer. Next time you go out for a ride on your bike or on the trail or plan to kayak down the river, don't forget your SPF while being active and practicing a healthy lifestyle.